Hi, welcome to this most unplanned, very impromptu May TBR video. It's the time of the month where I suddenly go, oh my god, it's the next month tomorrow and I still haven't done a TBR. In fact, I'm still only part way through a couple of April's books. So anyway, I thought I would give you a different view of my shelves for this video because you've seen I think it's like the medical memoirs stuff and some of the Harry Potter stuff quite a lot. So I thought I'd stand up and you could see these. This shelf is like my favourites, I want to own forever and ever kind of shelf. Look, I am a big Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan, so there's that. And then obviously the whole zombie shelf, I know you've seen snippets before. But what I am going to do is step to one side, hopefully display the books over here that I'm talking about, and you can all have a look at this. Right, okay, so I'm doing the thing that I've done for the past couple of months that seems to have helped a bit, as in only planning a small number of books and then mood reading some others. So the first book I'm going to be reading is The End of Men by Christina Sweeney Bard. This is an arc that I'm reading. It does come out right at the beginning of May. It's dystopian. Ooh, look at you all shocked. So it's set in the very near future, like 2025, and there's a virus outbreak because we've not had enough of them in real life. And this virus only affects men. It's lethal, so it's literally just wiping out the male population. And I know that there's people out there that are like, "Way, that sounds great, get rid of the husband, yay!" And by people like that, I mean me, obviously. But this book kind of documents the, not like the fall of society, but the difficulties that society suddenly finds itself in when the male population disappears. And not just the, like, economic, societal type of, you know, functioning issues, but the issues of having the rest of the people left who are in mourning for the male relatives. So I think it's told from 3 different people's points of view. There's like somebody who is assigned to document society and the rebuilding of it. There's somebody who is a scientist who's trying to work on a cure. And there's possibly somebody that's an engineer. I can't remember the third one, but I think it's an engineer that is trying to look at industry and train people and try and keep things going, basically. It sounds really good. Apparently it's like a really great feminist dystopian. I'm really looking forward to this one. I have been for a good few months. And then the next one is The Push. Can't do that, can I? This one isn't going to work. Right, The Push. I don't really know what this is about. I've just seen millions of hype about this book. Everybody's talking about it all the time, everywhere. So I felt really left out and I ordered a copy. And I don't really know what it is. I think it's a thriller. Possibly feminist, I don't know. Something to do with like the intricate and very delicate relationships between mother and daughter, and I feel like that is about it. But I have heard lots and lots of good things about this book. I still don't know, even from reading the synopsis, but I'm excited because just because of everybody else talking about it. Clearly I'm not paying much attention because I don't know what it's about, but I have seen that they've said good things. And then the third book is an audiobook. I am going to finally listen to Good Girl, Bad Blood by Holly Jackson. This is the sequel to A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I listened to that possibly towards the end of last year, I think it was. And I absolutely adored it, way more than I actually thought I would. And I mean way more. So I have been desperately waiting to discover this next book on audio, and I don't know if it's like me that has had an issue with finding it, or if it's only just come on to Audible or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, so I'm finally going to read this. So in the first book, Pip was like investigating the murder of a girl called Andy Bell a few years previously, and she was like, she practically like just figured everything out and handed the case to the police. Yeah, it's not that believable, but it was really fun, and I loved the audiobook experience because there was like multiple narrators, there was sound effects, it was just, oh, it was fantastic. So I refused to read the actual book of the next one. I wanted it on audio. And so in this one, I think Pip's gone to college. However, on the night of the memorial service for Andy Bell, the girl from the first book, another girl goes missing. Pip like cannot refuse, like everybody's asking her and begging her to like help investigate what's going on because the police are not bothering with it for some reason. And so Pip kind of gets dragged back into this detective role again. So I cannot wait. I'm so excited. Then we're back to sci-fi. Screams from the Void by Anne Tibbott. If that title doesn't creep you out a bit, I don't know what will. Screams from the Void. It sounds quite scary to me. So there's like a space station or spaceship, and they are out collecting like biological material and stuff for analysis, and I sound like I know what I'm talking about. Anyway, they've been out in space for a couple of years. It's all a bit boring, you know, just routine stuff. And then suddenly some kind of creature, it says biological creature, so I don't know what that means. Like, is it an animal? Is it an alien? Is it a virus? I don't know. So some kind of creature gets on board and it starts infecting people. I think that's the word. And then anyone who gets like infected or whatever, I really have no idea, they start to lose their mind and become violent. So we follow Rena, who is some kind of like a mechanical engineer on board the ship, and she discovers what's going on. She has to help save the rest of the crew. Something about building some gadgets to help save the day, I don't know. And can she do that before everybody loses their mind and starts bashing each other's heads in? Sounds fun. I think I read the synopsis, and it kind of brought to my mind lots of, like, you know, like the 90s spaceship type stuff, like Alien and that kind of like genre of film. And I thought, how cool would that be in a book? Gonna try it and see what happens. So hopefully it's really good. And then I've got The Guest Book by C.L. Pattison. This is a thriller. We've got a couple who are going on a honeymoon. They're going on a train, and the train breaks down partway there, and everyone ends up stranded in this little town. The couple who are on the honeymoon, they find themselves the only guests in this like weird, creepy B&B type place. And when they end up there, strange things start happening, like children crying, whispers through the walls, stuff like that. It sounds freaky as hell. And some kind of storm comes in, and they end up like stuck there, trapped in the storm, and things get more and more scary. That's all I know. I think that's all I need to know. It just sounds like really great, like a closed-in type, you can't escape and all this scary stuff's happening. Yeah, I've got high hopes for this one. And so sci-fi and weird viruses and people going crazy seems to be a theme for me, because I am also going to be reading The Loop by Jeremy Robert Johnson. This is another arc, and this is how it ended up being requested. Literally the first line on NetGalley was like, Stranger Things meets World War Z. And I was like, request. That was it. And then I read the rest of it, and it still sounded fantastic. Oh God, please let this be as great as I am anticipating, because damn do I need it lately. Like, oh, after the April I've had, I need some good books in May. So we've got like a small tourist type town, like a little really quiet resort type place in America, and some science experiment goes wrong and the town becomes the epicenter for some kind of epidemic outbreak. And this epidemic is causing the teenagers in the town to turn horrendously violent and aggressive. And we end up following a group of young people who have to figure out how to survive the night and not get killed by these murderous teenagers. How cool does that sound? Actually, it sounds like The Purge a little bit as well, doesn't it? That film where like one night a year everyone goes on a murderous rampage. Yeah, I cannot wait for this book. Next up, I am throwing in a bit of non-fiction for me, and we've got The Governor by Vanessa Frake. This is a true life professional memoir of a governor of a prison, believe it or not. I don't actually know what type of prison or whether it's male, female, no idea. I just think I haven't read anything along these lines. I don't think I have. And I am really intrigued by I guess not just prison life for the prisoners, but what life is like for the staff and all the like intricacies that you would never think of that kind of is involved in running a prison. I have been in prison several times as part of the ambulance service. We had to, obviously, whenever there was incidents that required an ambulance, we would enter the prison. I worked in an area where there were 4 prisons, I think we covered. Yeah, 4. So yeah, I am really intrigued. Like even though I went in quite a number of times, it was still quite like exciting and like felt a little naughty going in there. So I'm really intrigued just to see what this is about, and hopefully she like shares some exciting like weird stuff that you would never think of. But oh god, this is another one that I really need to be great in May. And then I'm going to be reading a thriller called The Serial Killer's Wife by Alice Hunter. All I know about this is that there's a couple and they seem to have the perfect marriage. Everybody is envious of them. One day the husband is at work and he doesn't arrive home on time. Then there's a knock on the door, it's the police, and the wife is like, oh my god, has he had an accident? You know, what's happened? Is he okay? Well, it turns out that he has been caught and he's a serial killer, which you would never in a million years expect. And so then people start talking about, did she know? Like, or how could she not know that her husband was a serial killer? And then I guess people are questioning whether she was involved, or at least, if not actively involved, more like passive, as in just like standing back and letting it happen. Don't know. But that one also sounds really cool. So that is 7 actual books and 1 audio that I am planning for May. I mentioned earlier, and if you've seen my other videos, I had a horrendous April, like bad. Just really slumpy. So I think I'm not going to plan anymore yet. If I'm completely honest, I could fill easy 15 slots for books with arcs. But I'm just going to pick right at this moment with how I'm feeling. I am just going to like cherry pick the ones that I think are going to be the best and that I'm going to love. I mean, I love medical memoirs normally, and I do have an arc that's a medical memoir, and for some reason it's just not appealing at this moment in time. So I'm not going to force myself to read it right now, because I could end up ruining it, as in like not enjoying it, but not because of the book, because of me. And I don't want to do that with a genre that I absolutely adore normally. And the same goes for other books on the list. So I'm just kind of leaving myself some room to either take my time with some books or to throw in the odd one that I just want to mood read off my shelves and just see how the month goes. I did get some fantastic book mail off Connor from Connor's Library Corner, and especially the one How We Became Wicked. For the life of me, I can't remember the author off the top of my head, but that book has been shouting my name since the moment it was posted through the letterbox. It was on my Amazon wish list, so it's one that I'm like super interested in. It's like a sci-fi / horror / dystopian / thriller, I think, from reading it, and it sounds amazing, and I possibly may try to squeeze that in somewhere, because I can't keep ignoring it. It's like just sat there like, Bekah, read me. So yeah, I don't know. Right, so thank you for watching, and I will see you all soon in another video. Bye.